Welcome to Keeper of Secrets Tarot. I am Gypsy Girl, here to give you another reading for Cancer. This is going to incorporate mid-October to mid-November in light of the eclipse that we just had on the 14th of October. And there's another eclipse coming up on the 29th. This is why I'm putting I'm putting this reading to infiltrate changes that the sun brought, because it was an eclipse of the sun, and the next eclipse is going to be an eclipse of the moon. So whatever was brought in with the sun is now going to be affected by the moon. And here we see anxiety for forgiveness, for relationship, going to a higher level. We have competition here. We have wanting to go further, wanting to take things to another level. There is a sacrifice that needs to be made. This is to bring in, that sacrifice will bring in certain justification from higher levels, or higher levels of knowledge, or from institutions like the government, or religion, as in marriage, or doctrines, where you change the rules, the laws, etc. And of course, it is for those of us who want to take relationships to a higher level and self-explore, meaning that you spiral up. You're looking into your own personal growth, as it were. But for others, it is a question of forgiveness and starting a new relationship for others yet again. So the changes that the sun put light on, so as in the truth, you were brought to understand certain things about yourself or someone else or other people, where you work, who you deal with. You get to see where you really want to go from that point of the eclipse. And you may want to reflect on what's been happening to you since the 14th. And then when the lunar eclipse comes around, you're going to see and feel differently, and you're going to notice that. This is why this reading is set up this way. If you haven't been paying attention, that eclipse took place in, that eclipse of the sun, it took place in Libra. So that justification again, where we had that Hierophant showing up, is like your determination of what is true to you, what is your own truth, what is the truth that was brought to you through that eclipse. And in turn, you're working with that information to bring in the eclipse of the moon for emotional change in your life. In other words, your emotional thinking patterns, because that eclipse is going to take place in Taurus. And in Taurus, which is the second house, affecting your everyday routines, like your work, where you make your money, your thinking and working things out in the form of healing, being patient, patiently working towards healing, manifesting change in your life, is where this eclipse of the moon is going to be very strong, simply because that eclipse in Libra affected what would be your relationships, regardless if it's a personal or business relationship. All relationships were brought into the light, and this is where truth now needs to be dealt with in a way where you have personal growth on all levels of your relationship. Spirit is not letting us falter here with our own growth, our own change, because we are here for a reason. We're all here for a reason, and we just need to understand that reason and work with it in order to bring in our just desserts, what we hope to have as abundance. Okay? Thank you, Spirit, for protecting and keeping us safe, for the collective, and for protecting me and keeping me safe. What are the important messages for Cancer? Again, you saw me cut the deck, twice even. So the layout is still the same. We have the first line is all about the viewer. Just want to make sure it's set up. I changed the angle of my camera, and I want to make sure that I get most of, or hopefully all of the third line in, but I'm still working on that. Yeah, I'm going to bring it down a little bit here. Okay, so this sets the marker. Let's see where this will take us. So of course the first line is all about you, the viewer, and if you're not Cancer, you're cross-watching, you might want to look at the second line in respect to representation. And if you are inclined to watch the Cancer or follow Cancer readings, then you have strong Cancer in your chart, and then you would just naturally fall at the top. However, cross-watchers do reflect on the second line because that's where they are mostly reflected, or projected is the word I'm looking for. The third line is the outcome of the reading. So this is going to spill into November, mid-November toward the end of November, early December, and for some it may carry into mid-December, depending on the situation, your circumstance, and the effect that the eclipse or both eclipses have. Now when I say both eclipses, this eclipse is the culmination from 2021, because eclipses were happening. That eclipse that came in November is set the pace for what is to take place now in November coming. And this is where you get to gauge, and hopefully this reading will shed light on which way you are going, and if you are, how you are getting there, not if, but how you are getting there. So let's take it from the top. We have the bottom of the deck is showing that 5 for value, self-value, particularly to the self. So we're reflecting right away on you, Cancer, that value that you hold about yourself, if you're worthy enough. And because it is a 5, it is a question of overcoming it, meaning that you don't feel worthy, or you were made to not feel worthy, or you made someone feel that they weren't or are not valuable, or they're not worthy of being with you or being around you, or in the work process. If where you are working there is someone who is being bogged down or held down, if it is not you, it is someone else around you. But because I say work, it's because I see the pentacles coming in together here. And again, it's all about relationship, where you work. Now, the eclipse in Taurus, being that Taurus is all about our daily routines, and work is part of our daily routines. So you may feel that this may take you more towards your work, your career, and it will have an effect on the relationship that you have with other people concerning your career, your work, or even your love life. It's all about relationships at the end of the day. So you take it as it resonates, if it fits with your personal life, or it fluctuates between personal and working life, because it seems to be a fair balance here with that. Starting with the first line, I see here there's a want for forgiveness, or wanting to make an offer. It's small. It's a small offer, meaning that you're treading on eggshells if you're coming out of being in a situation where you were made to feel that you were not enough. If you feel you don't have enough, if you are not enough. Again, this is all about you, right? Cancer, very emotional. There's a relationship that needs to be healed, in a sense where forgiveness is to be had. And if we follow the line, it is a question of not having enough. Again, coming up to the 5. Being overwhelmed with that, I don't want this anymore. I want to change something I have had enough of. I'm not getting the satisfaction that I thought I would get, because that's how it plays out. I'm not satisfied. Wanting some kind of offer to come in, standing in integrity, looking to build up on that integrity with that forgiveness. It's a question of earning a position because of an offer, wanting to make that offer, focusing on the abundance that is to come because of that offer. So everything is based on this first card, and being that it is falling in line with the Pentacles, where we have the Knight, plans are being made because of this offer. Plans are being made, and it's very slow in the process, because the game could be a game for some, where it's a question of mastering and being able to compete is where being able to compete with others or with another is what seems to be the plan, the game, setting up the plans. Not for everybody, that just came in random. But the fact is that it is a slow process, and it needs to take time, because it is authenticity that is being looked into with integrity. You see, the offer is to be made with integrity, and that takes time, because it is a question of moving on and evolving, whether it is in education or with your work, where you see your plan to go forward. You want to move forward. You're being patient, standing in integrity and being patient, because you're holding out for something. You want to see a change, but you want it to go in the way you want it to. And if it doesn't, then you will make new plans to move on and go somewhere else. Again, this is also pertaining to work. If you feel that where you are working, you want to make that change, you want to apply for another position or a higher position, or you're being offered, or you're hoping to be offered a position where you change where you work, if not the whole field, but the positioning, where you climb up in an echelon, you make a little more money, or you have more stability, because that is what the plan is to gain stable ground here, is to set up so that you don't have to worry about the next move, if you will. Because the plan is to move into to peace, have peace of mind. See, if we just look at the offer and then what we want from the offer, it is to move off into peace and end the cycle. But then we see the Queen here, and she again is abundance. She is being able to provide, and that is the true plan, the offer to make for provision, so that you don't have to worry anymore. And we have a King of Wands is sitting with the Queen, because this is how it ends. The King and the Queen here, very passionate. It's a fire and earth, but it's a tough blend. So even if we were to say it is for a water, it's not a water sign, an earth sign and a fire sign to get together in a water reading, a water sign reading. So it's a question of attributes, right? Being passionate and being able to take that passion and nurture and grow and expand on, whether it is in a working situation or a personal relationship for a couple to get together, in other words. But it doesn't have to mean that. It just finishes off where there is a groundedness in wanting to expand and grow and have security, because the whole plan is to build and have stability, so that you don't have to worry about your future. Cancer, you're preparing yourself, because if you are following your own personal growth. You are preparing yourself for your future. We all are. We're going to find that that is something that all of the readings have in common, because the way I'm doing the reading is geared towards the reason behind the lunar eclipse, which is affecting our daily life, our health and well-being. And as Cancer goes, you are definitely all about that stability of the home, that stability of foundation. You set the pace with having that fourth house as your home. Okay, and there is a trine that is either going to take place, I can't remember exactly when, but you will be affected by it. And the trine is in Jupiter and Jupiter, Neptune, and Saturn. And that is where the real shift, that effect coming into the moon, on the full moon, either before or after. I am not, because of the transition of the moon, I cannot recall exactly right now, but it is in November. And this is why I'm doing the reading this way, to incorporate the middle of November, because of that trine, where it will shift each and every one of us on our individual levels to pay attention to our values, our what we consider as valuable to us, whether it is in monetary form or in emotional form, because it is happening in the full moon. Again, it is all about where we consider our comfort zone as to be at home, how we feel about ourselves with other people mingling, and with what truth has come about concerning the relationship that we have with either our work or relationships, or both at the same time. So again, it's going your play out here with the events pertaining to the eclipse is to shed well, not just light, but to bring in that stability and the generosity of sharing and caring and nurturing, which is what you are strong with, because you are that home feeling, that sense of I want to feel at home. When we move through the fourth house, it is everything that affects our emotional stability, with particularly our nurturing side. So this is where forgiveness comes in. And again, it ends with the king that is the king who makes sure that everybody is provided for. Okay, that king sets up the entire village, and no one goes without under his care. And this is where the forgiveness comes in, the ability to do so. Okay, so this is very strong. Of course, I didn't expect it to be more than not more than or less than, but I felt that the energy would go around this offer. See where this offer comes in for forgiveness, whether it is of yourself, where you find yourself spiraling up because you're stepping into your own integrity, or you're going through forgiveness with others because of plans that you've made, or that someone has made, or that you are a part of. Okay, so let's start with the Knave of Cups. Again, for the truth. Oh boy, right off the bat, the devil is showing up. So truth is being blocked. Somebody is... oh boy. Because of truth. We have more truth is to be discovered, or will be dug up, because it is a question of researching. So some truth, and again, there's indulgence. And when I see the devil with truth, we know it's all about lies. So forgiveness is looking like the way we're going here, not actually starting up a new relationship, but the relationship, and you will know right off the bat about truth and lies, and being able to discover the truth within the lies, and vice versa. There is a sense of loss here. And that is the truth that is being discovered, because the devil is stopping this queen, blocking this queen. This queen wants to go with the truth. She's open to the truth, and the devil is stopping it, stopping that openness for truth. Again, more truth. There is a victory that is bringing a stalemate about self-love. So having to sit and go through that self-love, that understanding of that self-worth. What am I worthy of? What is it that I really want? Is it that I am telling the lies? Is it I that I'm trying to find the truth? Somebody is overindulgent in the sense where discovery has to happen, and it is discovery about loss. Okay, this is getting changing direction because of that self-worth is destined. Okay, so we're going to look at it as our personal growth here. Cancer. We're going to look at it through personal growth, just to begin, because it is all about you. And this first line, some truth that you may have discovered through that last eclipse with the sun, because that's what the sun does. It sheds light. So the truth has come out about indulgence. Truth again, more this looking for it, looking into it, because this is studying and digging into and researching. Okay, the truth is being discovered because the devil is putting a hold on the truth. So somebody is overindulging, probably twisting truth into lies or using the truth to tell lies, and it is overindulgent. The devil is saying, you know what? No, there is no forgiveness here. There is none. Because somebody is telling lies to the point where the truth is coming through the lies. There is a deep loss, a deep sense of loss. And that is a truth that is going to be spoken, because it's been held back. And for reason, we'll see in the flow. The victory here is, again, it's going to be stopped. So it is a question of using the truth. Again, you see, we have truth, its highest degree with the Queen of Swords, is being blocked by the devil. And we have investigating and finding the truth about loss. It's deep. This is not wanting to face something, but then it is, again, more truth about the loss that is being discovered. And in discovery, there is a deep sense of loss. So the work that is being done, the talking, because it's all air here, it's all words, not conversation or discovery or research about loss or for a loss, because of a loss. The conversation that is to be a victorious change, to bring about change, is going to be stopped. Again, the truth is being blocked, or has been, depending on when, depending on your situation. If it's already occurred or if it is coming, you will know as you go. Because this is related to the last eclipse with the sun. Again, truth, okay? Stalemate, meaning that you must sit and take a look around and see what it is that you need to do for yourself, because of the truth that has been discovered, or it will be discovered depending on when this is occurring in your life, as per the solar eclipse. But that in itself, that self-love, because the time that it takes to sit by yourself, because the devil is forcing it and spirit is not allowing anything more to this victory is not happening, because we need to sit, Cancer, and see where we are, filling ourselves with our own care, self-care, self-love, self-talk. That needs to happen in order for change to come. So this is telling me that what the sun brought is actually in stalemate. That truth is sitting quietly too, has no choice, needs to think about what's going on, needs to feel, because it's emotional. So there's a question of mulling over what has happened because of that solar eclipse. So let's see what the Seven of Wands is, because the devil is not letting me go further than that information. So we have a new plan for abundance. This is like an offer. Again, that offer coming in here. The generosity, wanting to have everything, house, home, and love. Okay, making new plans for that. Standing in the integrity. There's a betrayal. Betrayal here. This offer is a betrayal in its own sense. That is the truth that the devil is holding back and saying, no, this is not going to happen. That is that Ace of Swords, because remember, with the Ten of Swords comes the Ace of Swords. And right after that Ace of Swords, what do we have? We have our Hangman. So no, it's not happening. This final betrayal is not happening. That final betrayal is not happening, because we have to bring back in the balance. And the courage, there is courage to bring it in. That is what the integrity will bring. The courage for the truth to come back, so that this king, again, that confidence in love is to come. This is what this Seven of Wands represents. Again, it's all about love. Okay, we're going to take it there. We won't go further than that, simply because we're just going to go in a circle. And it's not about going in circles, it's about spiraling up. But we know why the integrity is being forced here. This is why we are being made to sit, Cancer. You are being made to sit and look at your own integrity and see your way to bringing back the balance for an offer, for that generosity that is either to come to you or that you need to give out. I mean, it's a question of reciprocity, that we will have at the end our ability to stand on our own because of our integrity, to be able to make the offer, because we find that love, that sense of unconditional love needs to come back into balance, because it is being taken advantage of. That is where the indulgence is. It's taking advantage of unconditional love, and that needs to shift. And it won't shift until you, Cancer, understand your own self-worth, what you are valuable, that you are valuable, that you focus, that your focus has to be on being independent, standing on your own, doing things by yourself, for yourself, because there seems to be a shift from someone else having control over you, or you taking control over someone else, or wanting to. Either way, that is what the eclipse will bring. This moon is going to bring in that sense of self-worth, putting down the burden. Again, there's a commitment here for third-party situation. That's what it is. Yeah, working hard at the change for work that was done in the past. So this is, again, being in a group of three or more, meaning that the teamwork that was done has now changed because of a third-party situation, for a commitment to put, and the burden will end. This is all that hard work to get that commitment for a third-party situation to be set in stone, if you will. By the moon, it's not going to come. That burden is going to be put down, and the sense of self-worth is going to be recognized, because that is what the moon is going to bring in. on an emotional level, again rising up instead of spiraling down. Cancer, you're looking to go the right way, and you will, because this is lessons that we must all learn. You're not the only one that got this card in this same place. Just I can't recall right now because it's too many. It's too much information. But the fact is that there is transformation happening, and this card is also showing up everywhere in all of the readings, because that is what this moon is going to bring. It's going to bring in that change for you as well as your partnership or the people that you're dealing with, because of truth. A new beginning, a new commitment. Everything is going to turn around, and then this third party business is going to be dissolved, because whether it's on a business level or a personal level, because of self-worth. Okay, let's see what this 9 of Pentacles represents. Healing. A double 9. Okay, you're not alone. I don't know who got the double 9, but I'm sure more than one of the signs did, because we're all in the same boat when it comes down to relationships. Okay, healing a marriage, healing a legacy as well, healing and having. You see, from the 9 to the 10 here, spiraling up, wanting to go off on your own, wanting to have your own, wanting to be secured in a relationship, healing that relationship, getting the satisfaction from competing and healing again. And the competing, I keep seeing it as competing. Competing, it's like you have a conversation. There's a lot of conversation back and forth, talking about disappointments, talking about the reasons why there was a disappointment, about the third party, because it is about disappointments in marriage, in relationship, that fighting and arguing that needs to happen, because the truth has to come out, and to see what is being held back, if it is secrets, if it is financial, again fighting over money because of a divorce. There's a lot about money going on here, and who gets what and how much is mine. There's a lot of that going on here. But it will be healed in the sense where the will, if there is a written will, and if there isn't, then it will just take a while longer for the parties involved to come to agreement. Because the way the cards are falling, it goes up and down here. First off, it's like, okay, I want to be on my own. I've decided I'm leaving you, and being alone will be healing for me because I need to be on my own. That is definitely how this is playing out here with some. Okay, in same respect as business goes, there's a shift in the business where everybody gets satisfaction from the work that was put in. At some point everybody is satisfied, but then there is a shift where sacrifices need to be made, and this is where deciding to cut into positions, cut into budget, cut in to make changes. Okay, and that discussion brings in reflection on losses that have occurred. So this is where the business seems to connect. And at the same time, personally speaking, where relationship for marriage, this is where the discussion, the conversation about cheating and how the truth about it comes out, about the disappointment and all of what took place. To have that forgiveness, all the truth has to come out, and it does. All the secrets are released here. All the secrets for destroying the marriage is released, and it seems like it's a very, very heated argument, very emotional fighting, very, very, very heated, because of the fact that there's a loss involved, meaning financial. Money is, well, because you are caught, you owe me and you have to pay me because you got caught red-handed, kind of discussions and arguments, okay? Because you got caught, because I caught you out, you have to. It's almost like blackmail, emotional blackmail on some levels. That's what I see going on here. That is what the devil is holding back. That victory to really take away from somebody, that loss, that sense of loss, that deep sense of loss, like you really in Cancer is you at some point have experienced a tremendous loss, and getting through it, you're going over everything that took place, and for some of you it is quite devastating, to say the least, and that is karmic on its own level, especially with the devil coming in here. That discovery that you make is what helps you to spiral up, helps you to stand in the light and hold back, or take the stand in your integrity to say, no, this is mine and I'm taking it with me. I'm leaving and I'm taking it with me. Because that truth is what puts you into perspective of your own value, your own self-love, and the desire, that uncontrollable desire to change your life, to move on and to take a whole new direction because of the betrayal that you discover. Because that's what happened here. That Ace of Swords is what puts you into, I want to get out of here. That truth is where you say, no, I'm out. You've decided, you've made up your mind, because that's how it ends. You walk off and you end the cycle, and you find your passion for whatever, if it is in love, if it is the confidence to find new love, because that is the truth, that you want to be in a relationship for love. We'll end it on that, okay? Because it's very deep, very painful, very emotional, and can be very vicious because of the emotion involved. Very angry. So we'll go into this Knight of Pentacles and see what is that about. See, again, the moving on. This is the plans to move on and find peace in your mind. You are passionate about it, as well as others are planning that move. If it's not you, it's someone else that's leaving, but you will still end up in your own independence, because it is a 9. Then we have the justification for the wanting to leave and move on, to find more. And that victory, it is relating to the ego. It is, because somebody is working hard at rising up and wanting to protect. Again, this is the integrity. That integrity is where the victory will come, but it will take time, because it isn't going to happen fast. It is a plan. The plan to be victorious, the plan to take. This is why I see the ego connected here to justification here. See that justice? Wanting to leave, it is because of the ego. Too much of something. Again, the devil here is too much. So the plan is to, I gotta move on, and here are all the reasons why. It is all about healing, conversation, that mindset of being, I have to win everything, I need it, it's mine, it's gotta be mine, I gotta have it the way I want it and nobody else. That is what you need to work on, or somebody needs to work on, because that is what's causing the plan to, I gotta get out of here. Because it's too much. It's too much. And the mindset has to change. And the only way that the mindset could change is if the ego is humbled. And that is where the victory is lost. Okay? It is lost. This is not happening. That stalemate is not allowing, because the healing ends a cycle. It just changing the mindset again. Wow, there's a lot of healing going on here, Cancer. And it is all about leaving a situation, moving on to smoother waters, because it will end, and the victory will be for you or for the other, depending on who is actually leaving. And it could be that the next person is leaving, or somebody is leaving. I'm not going to say who anymore, because you take it as it resonates. If you know you need to walk away from a situation, or you are inclined to think that you need to, well, then it is you that's leaving. Otherwise, if you are trying to hold on to a relationship, trying to keep that ego in check, trying to hold the position, that mindset, trying to force a situation to go in the way you want it to, Spirit is not going to have that, because it's the Patience card here. Again, it's like a reflection off of the Hangman. It's again a form of patience, where no. You need to change your mind in order to grow and have that sense of worth again. So what is this Judgment call? Things in the past, working on things in the past. Again, it is relating to work as well as it is relating to business. That business deal there where people are fighting over money, it is because of what was invested. I want my share. I want what I put in. I want it back from the amount that I put in. I want it back, and I want interest. Some will say that is the arguments that are going on. I want. But then again, what was done in the past is going to be talked about, and there is more healing, more conversation. What you've invested in is clinical for some. Some of us are moving into real psychological help here, where we need to go and sit down with a therapist, and some of us are going to do it because it is so devastating. That loss, that deep sense of loss here, will put some of us into a position where we need to go and get clinical help. And that is a good thing, because this is where you get to express yourself freely. Going into smooth waters and ending a cycle is what is going to show from here, where the healing, again, 6 and the 4 is a 10, so it's a starting over, where you get to begin anew with a new offer. Because there is somebody who really wants to be in a relationship, and there's nothing wrong with that. But something, I will always come back to the ego, because it is the ego needs to be healed, because the relationship is to be healed. That is the ending of the cycle, will be that the relationship be healed emotionally, because it is destined. There is a provider, a stability that will come from this. And again, this is dealing with other people. So the partnership in itself wants to heal. But it is a question, and take it as it resonates. If you move on and leave this situation where all the fighting and arguing is, you will fall into another relationship. It doesn't mean that you have to forgive the person you're fighting with and start over with them. It means that you have to forgive them, forgive yourself, and then move on, so that you can be with someone who is stable and nurturing and reliable and responsible. You will get that, but you need to close off. You need to end the cycle. Try to make it not too wordy here, but it's like I'm not getting that. I'm getting more words as I try not to say more words. But the fact is, it is a question of forgiving the self. Start there, because being able to forgive yourself, that is the only time you'll be able to forgive another, and that is where the clinical help may step in, because it is after that conversation about what was done in the past is where that offer, which is going to be very romantic and very healing and very emotional, is destined. Okay, the peace of mind is there, and the passion is going to come in naturally. Okay. Let's see. All right. Let's see what else we want to look at here. This four of cups. That dissatisfaction, because something ends with dissatisfaction here. Let's see, what is this all about? This a new beginning. So starting afresh, starting anew, that invigoration for making that change, because divine timing. Okay, this is the sun brought this in, or the moon will bring this in, depending on your situation. This wanting to move on and take on a whole new direction, once you realize and recognize that you need to take care of yourself, that you are alone, we are all alone until we are free of that sense of being alone. If you get my meaning, it's a little deep there. But when you realize that you need to give yourself time, space, and love and energy and do for you, that is when the passion is going to kick in. When you want to move on and do more. Or you will meet with someone, again, this is people that we cross, who incorporates that passion, who ignites that passion within you, wakes you up to, this is what I really want. And then you're going to start fresh. Again, more passion. See, the passion builds up because you're finding it within. You're giving yourself that chance to spiral up and explore who you are, what you want. Then there's the Queen, where there's that determination that kicks in. Ah, well, we're working through the process, because when things start coming in, going, oh, this is looking good, this is looking good, all of a sudden we have something else that comes in, anxiety, because of reciprocity that is owed. So the spilling into that boredom, that lethargy, that overindulgence is about passion. It is about wanting to be in a relationship so badly that you're overdoing it, that you're destroying your chances. You're missing out. That is what that Four of Cups represents too, where you missed your chance. And this is the reflection off of that, because it ends like that. Missing chances here. Somebody wants to start over, taking it to a passionate level, the enthusiasm, hurrying the process. And that is where trouble comes in. And when we hurry things, it's in the hurrying that we stumble, and that determination turns into anxiety, because you're worried now that, wait a minute, this isn't working. It's not. For some reason, you're realizing that it's not working, and it's because the devil is putting a stop, or the hangman is putting the stop, or that 14 is putting a stop, that temperance is putting a stop, because it's all coming down, trickling down here, putting a stop, delaying, creating confusion, creating a disturbance that creates anxiety that needs to bring in that reciprocity and end the relationship. That fear of ending, because it all comes down to missing a chance. And the relationship has ended and will end for some, because there's too much. There's too much, and there's not enough equal give and take. This is why the marriage will end, or the relationship, depending if it is you leaving the work or you leaving the marriage. Somebody is leaving. And because there is missed chances, this is where, okay, if it doesn't work, I'm going to go off and do my own thing. Let's see what the Three of Wands. There you go. Strategizing. Third party situations. Confusion is being manifested and then destroyed emotionally. There it is. Taking a whole new look and changing it up, because this is how this ends. Okay? Destroying the Tower. The Tower is coming down, and it's on an emotional level on a third party because of manipulation, because of confusion, because of strategizing and creating a third party situation. That is the other plan. If it wasn't going to work one way, it's going to have to work another. And then that is not going to work either. So there's a stalemate that comes in that eventually brings in the Tower, so that this new start is not going to happen. The end of a relationship is the result. Moving on, the partnership will move on because it is a karmic event. It is a karmic event. It is very karmic. The relationship in itself was karmic to begin with, and this is why it is being dissolved. And this is what happens, right? That truth that the eclipse of the sun brought out to show us what is going on. The moon now will help us to decide to either forgive or to forgive and then move on, or forgive and reconcile. And here we have this reconciliation card coming in here. It's not, the reconciliation is actually to be confused because of manipulating, and because it is on a poor foundation built on lies. It's going to come down because the intuition is there. Either the third party is going to say, no, I don't want this. This is not working for me. Or the partnership is going to say, no, I don't want this. This is not. Somebody's going to say, this is not working for me. I want out. And now we're going to end up with these last cards here. The Queen of Pentacles. Just that transformation, that foundation, that determination to be balanced, and to have that sense of home and family, and wanting to be in community with others, and have that peace of mind and focus on work. That is where it's going to change, Cancer. You're going to move on and build your own legacy. The work involved is bringing in that abundance, because it is that's where you're going to work. That's where you're going to put your focus. Usually when romance goes off, finance picks up, and vice versa. So in this case, where romance is not working out, your financial life is going to take on boons here, because the work that you put into being at peace is going to come where you're going to be able to afford a lifestyle to have peace of mind. Because truth, and it is more than just truth, and it could be for health reasons, where the doctor says you need to move on, you need to take a vacation, you need to go where it's warmer for your health, for example, or the fact that you have gone through the steps and the betrayal and the suffering and the hurt of a failed marriage, where the divorce comes in and you are given what is due to you, because there is reciprocity to be had here. And the judge, if you go into court, because I see that with this here, and it could be for business too, if you're worried about the company, and if you have to share and divide up the assets of the company, you will get your fair share. It is going to come into your favor. One way or another, reciprocity will be had. And that integrity, fighting and taking back what is yours, is where you get your peace of mind. You're going to stand up and take what is yours. Okay? Again, the Five of Wands, it comes in every reading. That deliberation and arguing and fighting is going to turn into conversation that is more of a, okay, now we will divide up the assets evenly and everybody will have a say. And with integrity, everyone will get their turn. That's definitely how that's going to play out. Because the Queen of Pentacles, she is that provider, that nurturer. That's the balance comes in through her. If it is not you, it will be through a third party. But somebody is going to make sure to smooth the path, so that the truth And again, it is official, whether it is from notaries, lawyers, judges, doctors. It's coming from higher ends, higher than, I shouldn't say higher. It's not on a personal level per se. This is more of an official level. Whether it is with the owner of the companies talking and bringing things down with a mediator involved, or if it is a divorce lawyer working with the couple to make sure that there is fairness and the conversation. See right here, that clinical help here, whether it is to divide up assets evenly. Somebody is going to make sure that it is done properly. It could be for a will, even where the family, where you're fighting with amongst yourselves, the executor of the will or the executrix of the will. It could be an executrix of the will because it's feminine energy that's coming in for dividing up the assets and sharing everything on an equal level. Again, this is related to family. Yeah? So if you feel it going towards your family situation, then yes, it's going to come into a positive end for you. Unfortunately, for divorce, it is still a divorce. But okay, so I had a technical situation where I ran out. I ran out of film on my camera. So we're going to go back a bit. It was just a few minutes, though. So where I was talking about divorce and the mediator coming in, and then I said, okay, let's go for the king now to see what the king represents. And basically it turns out that it is a question of higher authority, taking leadership, and that dilemma is for ego in some, because again, we started off with someone's ego is going to be tempered. The truth is going to be discussed. Creativity is going to come from the leadership that's taken, because we have to see the two levels of being egotistical and being a good leader, because this is the king. He is the good leader who is taken over, because it's how it ends. And it doesn't mean it's a man. It could be a woman too. But just to say that it is the passion that is involved. It is the invigoration that is involved. It is taking things to a higher level, because that's how it ends. Concerning the oracle, because when I did the shuffle, it gave us the yin. And then when I flipped the deck, it gave us the yang. And I was basically there when the camera cut. Well, getting to there when the camera cut. So like I always say, we go for the card that comes before. Well, this is the card that comes before the yin, and because it's the yin and the yang, the reading in itself shows us that the outcome is going to be in a balance. It is a sense of emotionally letting go and allowing things to take place because of all of this devastation that you, Cancer, are a part of, and wanting to change in your life. That is the feminine qualities of what I would consider to be the executrix of a will when it comes to family, the mediator for clinical help, where it is to help the couple divide up the assets and do it in a peaceful way, and have that divorce go through as painlessly as possible. Again, it is for the company to have the discussion being on a calmer, cooler level, where everybody gets to have equal say and have that sense of integrity being held up. Now, letting go and releasing and allowing spirit to help you make that turn easily is where this card comes in as well. On a personal level, for personal growth, the yang here is represented as taking action, which is this king, and he is passionate about what he has to do next. And when I say he, it could be for a male person, or it could be attributes of a male within a feminine qualities. Okay, mixing in. Now that is up to you to decide if it fits with you or not. If you are a male looking at this and saying, yes, this is me, then it works. And if it is that you are a woman looking at this and saying, yes, this is me, then it still works. So I took the relationship for message for the yang, sorry, the yin, simply because it is that feminine quality. So I'll just read it again. Well, for you it's the first time. For me, I'm reading it again. For the yin, where is she? There she is. Okay. So the feminine qualities of this yin is the principle of receptivity, letting someone else make the first move, gathering information and taking in cues, the art of conscious allowing. Meaning that you don't have to be that controller anymore for the ego. That situation where if it is your own personal growth and your ego is getting in your own way concerning your relationships, well, you need to take a step back and let others take the lead right now. Your power lies in small gestures, soft awarenesses, and conscious surrender. By yielding the reins, you will find yourself effortlessly moving closer to what you truly desire. Permit others to tell you who they are and who they can be to you by allowing their actions to speak about them. You will be pleasantly surprised. So I leave it to you to take it as it resonates. And I'll go into the yang, which is that masculine principle of movement and creative activity, the power to make things happen, take an action. And I brought this king out because this is all about this king, that passionate, creative, invigorating side. And I'll read the oracle message on that. The yang represents the power of action, the energies that propel the world forward and manifesting thought and desire into concrete form. Now is the perfect time to act, for you can easily build momentum and make headway. What you want will come to fruition if you proceed confidently. This card signifies new life and a sure sign that obstacles have been overcome. There is no reason to hesitate. You are the shaper of your destiny now. And on Okay, so I had a technical situation where I ran out. I ran out of film on my camera. So we're gonna go back a bit. It was just a few minutes though. So where I was talking about divorce and the mediator coming in, and then I said, okay, let's go for the king now to see what the king represents. And basically it turns out that it is a question of higher authority, taking leadership, and that dilemma is for ego in some, because again, we started off with someone's ego, is going to be tempered. The truth is going to be discussed. Creativity is going to come from the leadership that's taken, because we have to see the two levels of being egotistical and being a good leader, because this is the king. He is the good leader who is taken over, because it's how it ends. And it doesn't mean it's a man, it could be a woman too, but just to say that it is the passion that is involved, it is the invigoration that is involved, it is taking things to a higher level, because that's how it ends. Concerning the oracle, because when I did the shuffle, it gave us the yin, and then when I flipped the deck, it gave us the yang, and I was basically there when the camera cut. Well, getting to there when the camera cut. So like I always say, we go for the card that comes before. Well, this is the card that comes before the yin, and because it's the yin and the yang, the reading in itself shows us that the outcome is going to be in a balance. It is a sense of emotionally letting go and allowing things to take place because of all of this devastation that you, Cancer, are a part of, and wanting to change in your life. That is the feminine qualities of what I would consider to be the executrix of a will when it comes to family, the mediator for clinical help, where it is to help the couple divide up the assets and do it in a peaceful way, and have that divorce go through as painlessly as possible. Again, it is for the company to have the discussion being on a calmer, cooler level, where everybody gets to have equal say and have that sense of integrity being held up. Now, letting go and releasing and allowing spirit to help you make that turn easily is where this card comes in as well. On a personal level, for personal growth, the yang here is represented as taking action, which is this king, and he is passionate about what he has to do next. And when I say he, it could be for a male person, or it could be attributes of a male within a feminine qualities. Okay, mixing in. Now that is up to you to decide if it fits with you or not. If you are a male looking at this and saying, yes, this is me, then it works. And if it is that you are a woman looking at this and saying, yes, this is me, then it still works. So I took the relationship for message for the yang, sorry, the yin, simply because it is that feminine quality. So I'll just read it again. Well, for you, it's the first time. For me, I'm reading it again. For the yin, where is she? There she is. Okay. So the feminine qualities of this yin is the principle of receptivity, letting someone else make the first move, gathering information and taking in cues, the art of conscious allowing, meaning that you don't have to be that controller anymore for the ego. That situation where if it is your own personal growth and your ego is getting in your own way concerning your relationships, well, you need to take a step back and let others take the lead right now. Your power lies in small gestures, soft awarenesses, and conscious surrender. By yielding the reins, you will find yourself effortlessly moving closer to what you truly desire. Permit others to tell you who they are and who they can be to you by allowing their actions to speak about them. You will be pleasantly surprised. So I leave it to you to take it as it resonates. And I'll go into the yang, which is that masculine principle of movement and creative activity, the power to make things happen, taking action. And I brought this king out because this is all about this king, that passionate, creative, invigorating side. And I'll read the oracle message on that. The yang represents the power of action, the energies that propel the world forward and manifesting thought and desire into concrete form. Now is the perfect time to act, for you can easily build momentum and make headway. What you want will come to fruition if you proceed confidently. This card signifies new life and a sure sign that obstacles have been overcome. There is no reason to hesitate. You are the shaper of your destiny now. And on that note, I thank you for showing up, for your likes, your subscribes, and your shares. Until our next read, Cancer, love and light.